Steph and I go way back. How many years ago was the first CTA comp?
7 years.
7
7
years. All right. Well, today you're going to share with us how to pitch your talk to event organizers. Let's dive in.
I'm going to teach you how to pitch like a pro and get more speaking gigs. And so, as Joanna said, I started my career, quote unquote, as a conference organizer. So I was very behind the scenes. Then I turned into a sometime speaker, aka what I'm doing right now, just teaching people things that I know. And I think being a speaker is being a teacher, really. They're very, very similar. And now I'm a speaker developer. So that's kind of my journey and why I'm speaking to you today about this topic, because I definitely know what it's like to be a speaker. I really know what it's like to be a conference organizer, and kind of marrying those two and doing work at Shine. It's so funny because on Twitter, I think it happened on Thursday, there's this trend going around, and it's the how it started versus how it's going trend. And so many people are kind of reposting. And then I reposted mine and thought it was very fitting to just plop it in this slide deck because how Shine started was the written word. It's what a lot of you do, which is writing. And I wrote with my now co-founder a blog post that hit home with a lot of people. It was about diversifying a speaker lineup with more women. This was back in 2017, as you can see. But a lot of that blog post talked about my journey, which was behind the scenes as a conference organizer, then going to speak on stage in front of my entire company, and then also 11,000 people, or sorry, 1,100 people, not 11,000, but that was a really, really big step. And I kind of signed myself up for it and then was like, oh shit, what am I doing? What have I done? I'm going to fall flat on my face. And what I ended up doing was reaching out to a bunch of people that were speakers that spoke at our events before, and running my deck and getting a lot of coaching and mentorship, so that I felt really, really confident in my material, but in my delivery, like not only my material, but my delivery. So that blog post kind of goes through that journey, which then kind of created what is now Shine Bootcamp, which is a speaker accelerator. And it not only goes over topics like this, the one I'm going to talk to you about today, which is pitching specifically, but there's so much that goes into a really good talk. It's even things like how to write a really good talk title and description, or how to have a really great intro and outro, or how to structure your talk, or how to make it beautiful, and how to design a great deck. So those are all kind of things that go into being a really great speaker. And this is like one of the topics that we talk about in our accelerator, but I wanted to talk to you guys about it. So yeah, what is a speaking accelerator really? It's not Toastmasters, it's a lot more. It's coaching, mentorship, education, culminating in a speaker showcase, and giving you helpful materials like video recordings of your talk. So that's kind of Shine. But I want to jump right into things and kind of get you talking. So as a conference organizer, you get a lot of emails pitching people, pitching you to speak. You get a lot. So I actually screenshotted 2 that recently came through my inbox, and I wanted to show it to you. I want you to jump in the chat and tell me which one you think is better, A or B. So this is A. Take a couple seconds, minutes to read it. Hi, Shine. Recently came across your brand, blown away. Wanted to reach out and apply to be a speaker at future conferences. Here's my website. Is there a form registration process you can direct me to? Thanks so much. Okay. And this is B. So speaker profile is the email subject line, hello, hope this finds you well, reaching out as a longtime follower. I'm the admin assistant. I'd like to connect you with name, our founder is the managing director. So, So in the, can I see the chat? Let's see.
Yeah, we have one person who's dared to vote yet.
B.
Two. Okay, A or B, guys, now is the time. This is hard for me. I don't know which I would choose because of the different strengths and different parts of it. But by and large, we're getting a ton of B's coming in. A couple option C's, as in like, I don't know, neither. But mostly B's. A few A's in there. Most people are chatting just to us, by the way. So if you want to share with everybody, click that drop down. Kelly said, is this a trick? So is it A or is it B?
So I would say there were elements of both. I would actually say A was a little bit stronger, but it was a trick question and neither were the best of the best. And this is why I want to kind of jump into things and dissect emails and kind of go into it. So I'm going to start off with step one. Step one is before you even just see a conference and email them, narrow down where you want to speak. Go away from kind of the, I get so many pitches the minute they see our conference go live or the speaker agenda get announced, and it's like, hey, can I apply? Actually, just kind of think about where you want to speak at. Regardless of all of that, regardless of like announcements or anything like that, like where would I want to speak? And get a little list going. Maybe it's like a really little list too. Maybe there's only like 3 conferences or 3 to 5 conferences. I think it's really important that you get specific, get really specific about the where, and it will help you with your pitches. So I love to kind of share examples. This is Annika. She recently went through our Speaker Accelerator program, and she got really, really specific. She's a data person, so she went through and kind of like highlighted like 5 conferences, and one of those conferences was Coalesce. I mean, the conference doesn't matter to you, but she was like, okay, I want to speak at Coalesce. And what I want to teach you to do is figure everything you can about that event. Like, go research it, and not only of the event, but the people behind it. I'm saying do some serious internet research. So let's go back to that example, Coalesce. So when I actually go to that website, I scrolled down and I noticed that they were put on by a company called Fishtown Analytics. So not only getting to know the conference, but again, the people behind it. So I'm like, oh, interesting. Fishtown Analytics hosts this conference, but go even further than that. Okay, let's look up Fishtown Analytics in LinkedIn, simple LinkedIn search, and let's look at who works there. So, okay, 43 people work there. Let's look at what those people look like. Oh, wow, interesting. There's an events manager. She probably has something to do with the conference that she's putting out, Coalesce. Let's click through and let's see what she's saying. Let's see what she's talking about. Let's see what she's sharing. So, okay, Fatima, okay, she's the event manager at Fishtown. This is interesting. Oh, interesting. Now, Fatima has shared a LinkedIn post here, and she's actually asking for help. Let me know how I can get better connected. I want to, she cares about a diverse speaker lineup. And she cares about, analytics engineers doing important work. Now that told me so much more than the application form, than the conference website. It shows me what Fatima cares about and what she's specifically looking for. So now if you go back to Annika actually isn't an analytics engineer. But what she can say is she can use that in her pitch, right? She can say, I'm not an analytics engineer, but I'm a data person working in venture capital, and this is like, would that be of interest or something? Like, you can pick up clues by really going deep. And then also, it's so easy to go, okay, Fatima, I'm going to go pitch her right away. But it's like, wait a second, you have an opportunity here to help her and not think about pitching her. So my next, step 3 is really about following people, engaging with them, and being helpful. So, and I can't stress this enough. Engage with these behind the scenes conference organizers as much as you can before pitching them. Answering their tweet, emailing, sending them an email about like something that they asked for help with. It goes so far versus like a cold pitch. And so like with Fatima, what I would have done here if I was Annika, or, was actually nominating somebody else that was really diverse, that maybe was in my space, that was an analytics engineer. If I knew somebody, oh, hey, this person might be great. Instead of just fully just nominating yourself, she's asking for diverse people and say, hey, I know this person that did this project. Again, be helpful, connect with people before pitching them. And I always do this as well. Always write something in the LinkedIn box that is from a human. So with Fatima, I actually ended up emailing her, giving her some suggestions about who she might be able to get on her conference. But right after I sent that email, I sent a little invite and I said, hey, Fatima, I sent you a little email in response to your LinkedIn post looking for speakers and data, smiley face. Like, that was from me. It wasn't like a LinkedIn automated message. I'm not a recruiter. Like, LinkedIn is full of spam these days, and people just like delete. So if you can make it really human, really like tailored, like in response to your LinkedIn post looking for speakers and data, then she knows that I saw her post, that I'm not just a bot, or that I'm not just pitching or anything. And then my next kind of step, and I kind of was foreshadowing, was finding the event organizer's personal email. So not the email that's like, we had an email at Unbounce that was ctaconf@unbounce.com, but that went to like everybody that was on the CTA Conf team. And it wasn't really personal. And I think you would be, it's really, really important to kind of find that event organizer's email and have that. So with Fatima, I just put her, LinkedIn in Rocket Reach. I know that there's other tools. This is the one that I use, but LinkedIn, her LinkedIn profile, and then you can basically get her, and this sounds right? Fatima at fishtownanalytics.com. Okay, that sounds about right. And then you can have that on file to email her. So just for everybody, rocketreach.com is that tool that I use. So you can use it as well. It is free. I think it's like you get 5 lookups a month or something like that. So, I mean, that should be enough for you. And then the other thing is checking for mutual contacts. So with Fatima, I actually found out that I knew somebody that knew her just by combing through her LinkedIn, looking at who looked at Fishtown. And then step 6 is be curious and ask questions. Now, I put those 2 and 2 together because I want to show you an example. Love showing examples. So this is as if I was going to pitch myself. So asking a question, is there an application process? And honestly, if I would go back and even edit this further, I would have added a question mark on that email subject line. But, getting really curious and just asking, hey, is there an application process that I should know about? Because some conferences don't have that, but at least you know. Hey, Steph, I follow you on Twitter. You may remember me from this tweet. Now, pro tip, I always use the word this, and then I link out to something cool and relevant. So for example, this is if I tweeted, the step of like, make sure you're engaging before you tweet, you pitch them anything. I linked out to a tweet that I had then tweeted. So, hey, you may have remembered me. I answered you on this tweet. Use the word this, because then they get really curious and want to click it. A question for you. Does CTA Conf have a formal speaking application process? That is something really quick and easy that an event organizer can answer. Hey, we do. Here's the information. Or no, we don't. And you can know. So really get curious about things. Say you know an event organizer, or you know them because you've been doing step 4 or whatever, which is making sure that you are engaging and being helpful before the pitch. So if you quote unquote know them through maybe 3 months of just liking their tweets or responding to them or sending them a helpful email, you can send something like Leanna did, like, hey, any chance you're looking for another copywriting speaker for your conference, right? And then it gets into a more casual conversation. What's your best article? Here's one. Okay, let me see if I can get you in. You know what I mean? Making it a bit more casual and asking questions. So again, be curious, ask questions. So many people go into a pitch and then assume a bunch of things. And it's like, you don't even take speaker applications, or we don't even look for speakers that are XYZ and you're an XYZ person. Ask questions, be curious. Now, this is another email that's back to Fatima. And, writing her an email, small world, I know Janessa. Hey, name drop that you know somebody if you know somebody. We had some crossover way back at Unbounce when you worked at RJ Metrics. When she worked at RJ Metrics, I worked at Unbounce. Say the reason why. I know her from way back when. Here's what we worked on. See that you work with her at Fishtown. So this immediately shows, we have a mutual friend, and I'm not a stranger. Don't shut this email down right away. Know you run this conference, saw your LinkedIn post, again, linking out to doing your homework, seeing that she, what she cares about, what she's thinking about. I'd love to help you. I want to put this on your radar, which was, this, again, showcasing a speaker showcase where she could, go and see if there was some diverse speakers that she could get at her conference. P.S. I know somebody, you said you were looking for an analytics engineers in your post, but Annika is doing some amazing work on her talk and has a talk on this. So you can just softly, pitch yourself hey, this is what I'm about. I'm not an analytics engineer, but I talk on this, this, and this. Come check it out or something. So this is the kind of email that you want to craft. You want to say, I want to help you. Not me, because oftentimes I get, conference organizers, it just comes across right away as I care about me and I want to get on stage. How can you help them? This is another one that I just wrote. It's really good to attend the conference and then name drop that you know what the conference is all about. Hey, Steph, I attended your conference last year. I'm picking on Joanna because she's here. I love Joanna's talk on copywriting. I have a few copywriting methods that go beyond Joe's talk that might be helpful. Hey, I listened to that talk. I thought it was good, but I have something else and it goes beyond. How can you level up? About me, I'm a seasoned copywriter, 15 years of experience, and I worked for name drop. So again, go beyond, add to what she taught, and then add some social proof. And then answer with a question. Do you have a formal application process? What's the best way I could tell you a bit more? That's a great pitch. Getting curious, name dropping, attending the conference, really knowing it. Comes down to doing your research. Finishing with a question, finishing with curiosity. So Joe told me that you guys love templates, love templates. And I was like, cool. I have made templates, but the thing with templates is that you have to use them smartly. So I have 3 templates and they're quite different. And I, to be honest, I'm an early stage entrepreneur. There's 2 of us working on Shine. I don't have a landing page that then you could get get it, but you can email me. Email me at hello@shinebootcamp.com. I have the templates written up in a simple Google Doc, and I'm happy to share them. I just want to say, use the templates with caution. There's about 3 or 4, and they're based off the emails that I just shared with you. And so use them with caution, because I think sometimes templates can help, and then sometimes they can box you in. So I have a couple.
Yes, I hear you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So step 7 also is prove it. So prove that you are a good speaker, with photos on your speaker page, with a video. Conference organizers love to see videos, or they love, if you don't have a video, a podcast. And they love testimonials. Jo, she puts this right on her speakers page. Here's some feedback from the attendees of CTA Conf, and she literally copy pasted it verbatim. People, like, conference organizers love that, because they want to know, okay, like, how is that person as a speaker? They want to know that your material is great, but then you're going to be a great speaker. But the question I always get is like, sweet Steph, what if I don't have any of that? Well, prove that you know what you're talking about. So maybe it's not a video, maybe it's not a picture of you talking on stage. You know, those are hard to get when you're kind of a first-time speaker. But do you have a blog post? Do you have a podcast episode? Even a Google Doc of some of your work? I don't know. It can be anything, but just prove you know what you're talking about. And then this kind of goes back to, what I said about in that one email template, which was like, hey, I attended your conference. I saw this person's talk. If you don't succeed at first, play the long game. Speaking is about the long game. You might not get, accepted at that conference the first time around, but that doesn't mean you won't get accepted the next year. And so attend that conference, go to their podcast, write a guest blog post on their blog, do something to get in their radar, and then use it as a stepping stone to then pitch them and to go speak. So definitely play the long game. Don't get frustrated if you don't get accepted your first try. I know tons of people who had pitched me their first year, and I didn't put them in the conference lineup, and then the next year I did. So yes. So to recap, this is like a nice recap slide. Steps 1 through 8, narrowing down where you want to speak, doing some serious internet research, following people and engaging with them before you ever pitch them, and finding that event organizer's personal email if you can. They're very behind the scenes, but you can find them. Check for mutual contacts, and then be curious and ask questions versus just that cold pitch that has periods. Even just like scan your email and say, do you have any questions in here? And then prove it by showing that you're an amazing speaker. You know what you're talking about. And if you're a first-time speaker, more that you know your shit. And then play the long game. Play the long game. If you don't succeed your first try, then try again.
Love it. Yay.
Yeah, I'm Steph at SM Grieser, Stefanie Grieser, Shine Bootcamp, hello@shinebootcamp, shinebootcamp.com. And I help people go from scared to confident on stage. So funny, to round out the presentation, one of our speakers that went through our program did that, how it started, how it's going. And it was so cute because it kind of like, it went from Shine and then her speaking at Inbound. I thought it was really, really awesome. And as so many people ask me, okay, Shine Bootcamp, I want to know what it's all about. Go to shinebootcamp.com. We don't run programs all the time. It's not like you can come, you have to apply. So join the email list, then you'll find out when our next program is. Then you can apply, you then get accepted, and we have a 6-week program that finishes with a speaker showcase. So this is one of the links that I sent to Ange. We just finished a speaker showcase with 64 speakers that went through our program, and they actually get to do they get to speak at a conference, which is this conference, and we ended up raising $2,000 for charity through it. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's me. That's it.
Love it. Steph, thank you so much for sharing this today. Please email hello@shinebootcamp.com. It's showing on the screen right now. The replay will be available shortly with links attached to that as well. So, but in the meantime, go start looking up those events you want to speak at, making those connections. Thanks, Steph.
Bye.
Thanks, Ange. Thanks, everyone, for attending. We'll see you next Tuesday. Stay safe. Bye.